Hey everyone! I obviously got a copy of the 100% Plastic Rider Tarot deck. I have to admit, this was not a deck that I was going to purchase because my current experiences with plastic decks have not been great. I have two plastic decks, I guess three technically, currently in my collection. I've got Natalie, I can't remember her last name, her Mood Tarot. This is the one where everything is kind of meme-ified. I find it funny, but I have the humor of an 8-year-old boy. So we've got Natalie's deck. And I also have Ivy Feng's Neo Rider Tarot Collection. The Love and Shadow decks, I think. They were plastic, the ones that have the metallic, right? And as you might recall, I have a devil of a time shuffling these guys, especially Natalie's. Like, all you gotta do is set this down and it just goes. It just moves everywhere. These cards are super slick. That's a great one. Let's see if I can't do that again. Oh yeah. So when I go to shuffle these, they just literally fly all over the place. That being said, like, that's satisfying as all get out. Let's try to do a quick shuffle. Oof, you really gotta be careful on how you're holding this out. Well, of course I do it nice the one time I'm filming. Ugh, whatever. You might also recall that when I did my review of the Neo Rider decks, I tried to shuffle this and it went everywhere. Let's see if I can... Oof, they really do slide. Let's see if I can shuffle it again. I can't even grab. And honestly, I can ruffle shuffle. This is not a thing I have a problem with. Yeah. Like, look at that. Yeah, this is, I don't like plastic decks. This is not my thing. I do not like. Please take it away. Also, where do those cards go? I will find them later. So I was not about ready to get the plastic deck. It is literally only because, oops, found the card. It is only because I collect the plaid backs, you know, the yellow box, the blue box, etc., that I allowed myself to be convinced to add this to my collection because they did have to go and pop plaid backs on these suckers. So yeah, I thought what we could do is kind of compare the quality of this plastic to the other two plastics I've got, and maybe the quality of the art to the most recent Rider deck and one of the earlier vintage ones. This one is a Blushing Fool, so it's in great condition too. So that's what I've got those out for. So first off, let's just look at the plastic. You know what? Maybe we should do that last because I will shuffle these and they will go everywhere. You know what? We'll make it work. It's a nice thick deck. Can I hold on to it? Okay, I was able to hold on to that a little bit better than the other ones. Oh, that was nice. Oh, that was nice. Hang on. Can I actually shuffle this? What? Yeah, without much of a problem. That is bizarre. Let's try that again. Okay, so this is not actually giving me much of a problem at all. Why? Let's bring these out here. They're just going everywhere, God. You know, it might actually have something to do with the texture of the plastic. Huh, it really might. These are nice. I can feel that the surface of this plastic is not as slick as the other two. Natalie's Mood Tarot, that is glass, is exceptionally smooth. This one is also very, very smooth, but the metallic areas give it a little bit more tooth. Things that aren't metallic are just about as smooth as Natalie's. Yeah. What's metallic is a little rougher. What isn't is essentially Natalie's deck. But this feels a little bit rougher than the metallics on Ivy's deck. And I'm betting there's just enough grab that as these cards are sliding past each other, they're not literally sliding like, right? This is like walking on ice. This is like walking on snow, I guess. I'm gonna try to shuffle that again. I'm not believing this. Yeah. I mean, it's not nearly as easy as it is with paper, but I can do it. Do I like paper better? Yeah, I think I do. But this isn't bad. And it's higher price than I thought I was going to give it. So I'm going to go ahead and pause and put my deck back in order and pick you up in just a minute. All right, so I've got my cards back in order and I think we are good to go. What I'd like to do first is kind of move cards and book out of the way and compare packaging between the most recent yellow box and our plastic. As you can see, the yellow box, it's just a super basic tuck box. This will fall apart, as I can attest. So seeing it in something a little bit sturdier is nice. I know that this is actually got the ability to last for at least 100 years from what we've seen with the Rider decks. This is a 50-year-old Blushing Fool deck. It looks great, right? I know for a fact that if I go get my first edition yellow box, which is the same deck as what's in here, my yellow box is on its last legs. I don't even want to breathe on it because it's gonna rip. So I am glad that we have sturdier packaging. And it looks like all the language that's on this is pretty much the same. On this side, we've got known as the Waite-Smith. That's the same as this paragraph here, even down to the Rider Waite-Smith Tarot where everything is hyphenated. I will swear no one has ever hyphenated this US Games, but if you want to keep on doing it, go for it. This is new information. 100% plastic cards are durable, resistant to bending, easy to shuffle, can last up to 50 times longer than paper cards. I hope that's true. Here we've got the 78 card tarot deck. It's kind of the same thing as this. Complete 78 card weight deck, 22 major arcana, 56 lesser arcana because people can't math. Here we've got the includes original hand-drawn titles. That's the same as this area. This is new to this edition, but nice to see it's there. The original and only authorized edition. This paragraph is about the same as this paragraph, including our big old bolded names. About the only thing I can't find here is this reissued in collaboration. I don't see that anywhere on this box at all, which is fine. Here we've got our complete with instruction booklet. That's down there. On the bottom here, we've got pretty much all this copyright information. So yeah, it's definitely giving us yellow box vibes. A big change though is the cover art. We've got our Empress here and the Magician as it has been since 1971 on this box. It does look like US Games has been trying to move away from the Magician. We can see that with the Italy little white books, they've all had the Empress on the cover, whereas the vintage ones, 90s, etc., they've all got the Magician on the cover of the little white book, same as this. But we are definitely moving to the Empress. Let's actually, while I've got the little white book, take a look at these. They're the same. They're the same, made in Italy, which is interesting actually, because I caught that this, at least the box is made in China. I would assume that the cards are made in China, but the booklet's being printed in Italy? Are they printing the booklets in Italy and shipping them to China? I don't know. This is a question for someone who is not me. No little white book reprint numbers. No little white book reprint numbers. Everything's the same there. So we'll just move those back. Oh, actually, I do want to check out one thing. Ooh, on our plastic box, a typo was corrected. In this edition, forward is spelled with an A, which has never been the case. So we've got a misspelling here, but it has been corrected to forward, W-O-R-D, in the plastic box. So well done, US Games, with your editing. So yeah, we've got our Empress on the cover here, which I like. It's a pretty card. I like it better than the Magician, if I'm to be honest. She looks a little weird though. Why does she look weird? Her face looks weird. That's because her face is weird. Take a look at that. Look at how her face has been photoshopped to kind of open it up a little bit. You can see eyes way more clearly. Everything looks a little bit more even and regular. I think that's about the only photoshopping that's been done. Everything else looks about the same. Her face looks a little bit more round, but I can't tell if that's just because of messing with aspect ratio or what, but... So they messed with her face a little bit. Let's pull out the vintage deck so you can see how that looks. Yeah, even when compared to the vintage deck, it's very obviously Photoshopped face. So you can see all those faces there. I don't know why necessarily they would have gone through the trouble of Photoshopping that. I mean, I guess it is a little bit more attractive, and I suppose it is true that whenever you have a human face on something, that is where your eyes immediately go first, so might as well make it look nice, I suppose. But it's slightly sad that we didn't retain Pamela Coleman-Smith's art in its integrity, but it is what it is. So yeah, pretty nice packaging overall. I even like the lift-off lid. So let's take a look at some cards. Here is my 2020, 2019, I don't even remember when it came out, the paper deck versus our plastic deck. The plastic is thicker, which I actually did not anticipate. Looks like we're at least 8 cards thicker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, about 8 cards thicker, which is interesting. The paper cards are so much more resistant. These are very, very flexible. They feel flimsy, but they're clearly not. I mean, it is a thicker deck. Color-wise, it's actually pretty close. This is more red. I don't know if this is picking up on camera, but the background here is way more school bus. a little bit more on the orange side than this yellow. The blue in this mountain is slightly more on the purple side than this blue in the mountain. So it does look like there's a little bit of a red bump. He's more orange, way more Trumpian in his complexion. That looks like it's gonna hold through. I always forgot that I have that scratch in my Magician. Yeah, we've got a oranger face, oranger yellow background. Yeah, so that's gonna hold pretty much all the way through. But honestly, like, the rest of it is pretty close on. I don't really see too much difference in shading or line art. Maybe the image quality is slightly grainier. Like I can see more grain in this Taurus scroll than I can in the paper one. It looks like this stripy area is a little grainier. Let's take a look at these faces. Yeah. Yeah, you can really see that, how much red, more red the plastic deck is than the paper. So I guess that's the primary difference. Pretty close to the contemporary printing, just a little bit more red. Let's take a look at our brand new plastic deck in comparison to a Blushing Fool. Oh, this is just lovely. Yeah. Now, the Blushing Fool was a deck that had a little bit of a red balance issue too. It's just a little bit more red than the next printing of Copyright Free, but look at the difference in those blues, right? The yellows are very, very different. This is more buttery, and this is just very United States school bus. Man, I really got these flipped around, didn't I? There we go. Wow, that should be very obvious. Look how red that table is and how rough, right? There's actually green background here, whereas the green's been stripped out and it's just red lines on yellow, whereas it's red lines on the same green as what's in this staff here. Oh, that is so different. Like the blues are pretty and sky-like, robin's eggy. This is just very in your face. Yeah. Like, look at how different that has become. Just pull out the other Empress here. Can actually probably set up like that. Yeah, things have become very, very different through time, which is unfortunate because honestly, in these earlier printings, the Rider deck is pretty attractive. Yes, it's a very yellow and light blue based deck, but it's pretty. This just gets way more saturated and honestly too saturated. This is hard to look at, both of these cards. It's garish, it's bright, it's everything that makes it hard to want to look at the cards. And I don't know why US Games can't just go back to this. Like, honestly, you could scan this and redo it remarkably easily. In fact, I know that US Games took essentially photographs of this deck here, the Blushing Fool deck, and that's what became the first mini decks. Clear through the 80s, those were actually Blushing Fool decks. Not because there was a printing error such as this, because it was replicated in the photography. So, I don't know. These could be better. I don't know why they're not. But overall, the plastic deck is better than I thought it would be in a lot of ways. I'm not mad I have it. I don't see its purpose. It would probably have been better to do like a plastic Centennial, perhaps. I don't want this card around for 100 years, and it's plastic, so it's going to be around for a while. But it's a really good first effort with the plastic decks from US Games, I have to say. So thank you so much for hanging around with me. Enjoy your day.